Yes, sir, we are back. And this is Royal Black. And I am back with another one. And this one is going to be dedicated to boycotting. Kinda. But before I get in it too deep, let me first start by thanking everyone that has subscribed, that shared, that liked, that gave me a thumbs up, thumbs down, that left a comment. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out and I appreciate it. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about boycotting. And I know I talked about boycotting in my last video, but it seems like since my last video, boycotting has become the talk of the town and everybody's talking about it. So first, I'm going to let you hear what everybody else got to say about it.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty ass attitudes, okay? Please, boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
Hey, buddy, it was something you forgot to mention. You forgot to mention, what about those massage parlors? Are you going to take that out the black community too? Are you going to get rid of those massage parlors? Oh, you didn't want to take claim to that. Didn't want to claim that.
You just tried to slide right past that, didn't you? We don't need that type of happy ending.
God have mercy upon us.
This is exactly where knowing something about your history is important. Asian success is based on racism. Not saying that they were racist. The usual suspect was racist against your ancestors and did not even want them to be here, period. I'm going to let Papa Duck tell you about your history since you don't know it.
In 1882, I think it is, 1882, they came up with the Chinese Exclusion Act. That prohibited Chinese immigrants from coming into America. They couldn't come over here. Even as a laborer or a worker, they couldn't come over here because of that clause, okay? But if you owned a business, you could come over here. Why? Because America loves money. I told y'all business is how this whole thing works, okay?
Yeah, they love money, but they love one thing more than money, which kind of goes hand in hand in their eyes, is control. They love to be able to control people, and they were having trouble controlling us as black people. And let's just imagine it as a football team. What are you going to do? Just say, for instance, maybe you can't handle the other person's defense. I mean, the game is already stacked because you got the best coaches, you got the best field, you got the best trainers, you got the best resources.
But with all of that, for some reason, they still making a comeback. What you gonna do? You're gonna start to run interference. And that's exactly what the Asians were. They were the people they used to run interference on the black people.
Through business, all right? Then in 1915, they came up with another clause, right? Not only if you had a business, you could come over, but if you had a restaurant, you could come over and you could bring your family over in America. Now, how did this impact the black neighborhood? This is what I'm about to tell y'all. The banks would not loan Chinese people money to open businesses in the white neighborhoods. White people did not want Chinese, Asian, none of the motherfuckers in their neighborhood. This is facts. But what they did do is gave them loans to open up businesses in the black neighborhoods. This is where all the Chinese restaurants come from, hair stores, you name it. This is how they became integrated into the black neighborhood, which made black people y'all biggest customers. Okay, so to go and say boycott Asians and this is going to happen, they're going to take away their dry cleaning, they're going to do that. You're not going to do that. You can't afford to do that. Okay, and like I tell y'all don't buy from each other. Y'all depend on other cultures, mainly blacks, to buy y'all services and goods. All right, so to go public, to do what you did, you just told y'all a new asshole.
So make sure you check them out. I got the link to the full video down in the description. And I want to touch on one other thing right quick that the Asian guy had to say. Now, he was saying, go out, get your business loans and open up your own business. Like a lot of things that were happening back then still happens today. When we say we can't get business loans, they tend not to believe us. The same way how they didn't believe that we was getting the shit beat out of us until the smartphones came out, and then we had video proof, and then they still didn't really believe it until the cops started beating the shit out of them too. But I hope this history lesson kind of shows that your restaurants are still in black communities predominantly, and you were giving loans for those businesses back then, and you getting loans for them now. But back then we couldn't get loans to put businesses in our own community. We couldn't get the loans from the banks, and it's still very much so today. Of course, every now and then you do, but it's difficult. But there was one time I had around $80,000 in the bank. I wanted to get a loan to get a new used vehicle for my business. I really didn't need the loan, but I wanted to build up business credit. So I tried to get a $5,000 loan to put a down payment down on a vehicle, and I got rejected from the bank that I bank with. I got rejected. So I just wanted to give you that example to let you know that that trend still exists. Your restaurants are still in the black community. You still think it's super easy to get loans, and there's not a ton of black businesses in black communities. That still exists. Occasionally, somebody gets a loan, but we're not getting the loans like other people are getting the loans. That's why you see every other business, not the only reason, but that's why you see a lot of other minority businesses in the black community, because they're able to get the loans for them, and we are still not able to get those loans. It is still difficult for us to get those loans, and I hope the history lesson shows you just because it's history doesn't mean that it's not present as well. Interference is still being ran. That's why in my last video, when I said that if I was for reparations, it would be for the shit that they're doing right now. They're still running interference right now. The times have changed, but the game remains the same. Interference. And to make sure that everybody hates blacks the most, to make sure that everybody else believes that black success means your failure. Now let's go ahead and get into these other videos.
Asian people should not feel offended when black communities say that they are going to boycott Asian businesses and focus on black-owned businesses. In response to Cyrus Carmack Belton's murder, there is literally nothing that I can really think of that can really mitigate that other than just depending on their own communities. If Asian communities cannot prove themselves to be safe spaces for black communities, then of course they're going to go where their community is more likely going to be safer. I am not going to sit here and pretend that anti-blackness does not run deep into Asian communities, and that is not still very much apparent in today, and the way that the conversation about black people in Asian communities exists. There is no way that we can just ignore it, which is why as an Asian person, you should not feel offended when black people, black communities are trying to find solutions for things that unfortunately Asian communities just fall flat on. They fall flat on their solidarity. We saw that with like our 2026 elections. We fall flat. We need to allow these communities to build their own, because we have showed them time and time again that we cannot be dependent on for them. And that is why, as an Asian person, I cannot feel offended for any reaction that came out of the not guilty verdict.
Asked them, I said, should we boycott Asian shops? Is that what we should do? And then every one of them said yes. Yes. Okay. Because how are black people supposed to mobilize if they're in our communities? It's not no Asian hating. It's about economics and why black people can't keep their black money within their community. So when you go to your corner shops and, you know, the food stop that they sell, right? They sell our food. They go to the corner shops. They have chicken shops lined up in our thing. It's all going back into their community. How is it coming back into ours? We have to boycott them. We don't want to, but we have to boycott them to keep it within our community. Otherwise, how are we going to progress? Right? I can't do it on my own. I need black people to help me. And I also said as well, I said, black people, you need to take time with black businesses as well.
Yeah. What you need to do, it's not even about boycott the Asian shop. It's like, buy black. That's all your message is. No, buy black.
The reason why I disagree with that, sorry to cut you.
No, go on.
The reason why I disagree with that is because when you say buy black, we still are about convenience. Until we get out of that mindset to strictly go and buy black, you have to give black people options. If I don't give them options, what they're going to do, they're going to fall back into the cycle. You have to get, and this is what I'm saying, like when I said boycott the Asian shops, it's because they're literally in every single community.
But as you said, give the alternatives. So you can say, the only reason I'm saying, because I think getting tied up into a culture war also isn't helpful for us, because we just look like the aggressors or something. No. I'm not saying don't call it out. I think there's a conversation that I definitely think there's a conversation that needs to be had.
Boycotting Asian businesses isn't the primary way to bring about change. Before you come at me, black people, please listen to the rest of this post. But first, I have to address the Asians. Asians, did you know your fear and hatred of black people isn't your own? You've been brainwashed. Well, more accurately, your great-great-great-granddaddy has been brainwashed. But I'll get into that history lesson. First, current statistics. Did you know most violent crimes committed are by people of the same race? Meaning, white on white crime. Hispanic people against Hispanic people, black people against black people, Asians against Asians. The only exception to this are Native Americans. They tend to not go around hurting each other. However, Asians, do you know what the most violent group towards you is race-wise outside of yourselves? It's not black people. Let me give you a moment. It's white people in the form of hate crimes. So why are you so scared and fearful of black people then? Well, let me tell you, because your great-great-great-granddaddy wanted to come over here and they said, bet, but you have to work. You have to like own your own business. They said, no problem. So they went to the bank and they said, may we get a loan? We want to open up a business in this neighborhood. And the bank said, you're not opening up a business in our white neighborhood, whatever they called Asians at that time. But guess what? We will give you a loan though, but you have to open up in this neighborhood. Black communities. And that is why to this day there's so many Asian restaurants, beauty supply stores, nail salons in black neighborhoods, because they gave them loans to open up there. And then the government or power who be said, we are going to call them the model minority, because look how hardworking they are. Not only are they hardworking, they own businesses in neighborhoods where lazy, blah, 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 black people don't have themselves. And you guys brought into it. Well, your great-great-great-granddaddy did. And what they left out was, but we gave you loans to do that, where we wouldn't give them to the black people who live in that neighborhood. And that is why you own businesses when they don't. It's not that they don't want to work. It's not that they didn't want to open up their own shops. It's that they couldn't get the loan to do so, whereas you did. And when you didn't get it from the bank, you went to your own country and got loans as well, which, you know, we were kind of stolen. We don't have that kind of connection back at home anymore. So we were out. So that is how you got to believe you were better than everybody else. Not true. You had a leg up. And that just trickles down. And why is that, matter today? Because your great-great-great-granddaddy believed it, told your great-great-granddaddy, who told your granddaddy, who told Rick Chow, who told Andy, who chased Cyrus out of that convenience store after he stood there and calmly was accused of stealing and told them no 2 times and then just walked out. And Andy chased him, knowing he didn't steal anything, not knowing there was a gun on him, chased him for the length of a football field plus, and then unalive that boy. Kid, child, 14-year-old. All because of what happened when this country was set up. And why is this relevant? Now I'm talking to my Black people again, with the Asians and all our allies, because re-education is also needed. If you want to boycott.
To all you Black Americans, I know you have a love-hate relationship with me, but I just want to say I am super duper proud of every single one of you that has taken up the fight to boycott Asian businesses. I'm actually doing some boycott of my own, but I'm boycotting the South Asian businesses. We'll talk about that later. But I want you to keep going. Keep going and take this over the line. Drive this home, because the only thing those people understand is moolah, money. And you need to make them feel it. The government ain't going to make them feel it, right? Other communities ain't going to make them feel it. You need to make them feel it. And the only way that community is going to bow down to you is if you fuck with their money. And I've been hearing some people say, oh, only boycott the gas station. No. You boycott every single one of their shops. You understand? So their people could be like, now you're fucking with our money, so now we have to do something about it. The good ones, sorry, you're collateral damage. Because at this moment in time, the Black Americans need to teach you how to respect their community and how to protect their kids. So absolutely, you're going to be collateral damage. Just like we are when we have to see their kids getting gunned down in the streets. Just like we are when we have to see their Black men being strangled by police. Just like we are when Black women are sleeping in their beds and they're shot up in their bed by police. Those people are also collateral damage. So I don't want to hear anyone talking about, oh, well, it's just that. No, it goes for everyone. So Black Americans, take the floor. We are all watching, we are all supporting, and we are all waiting for you. This is your time. Do it and do it right. Show them that this is your last baby they will ever touch. Fuck them and boycott the nasty, dirty, stinking buffer class. Elaine out.
I couldn't wait to get home and do this video. This crackerjack right here, he was talking to y'all. He wasn't talking to me. You know why he wasn't talking to me? Because I shop Black owned. But let me show you. My hair products, right? Black owned. You know who this is. Black owned. Rice water, rosemary water, Black owned. Botanica oil, Black owned. For my locks, Black owned. If I wanted a dude, Black owned. Okay? For my kids, Black owned. Edge control, Black owned. Let me come over here. Edge control, Black owned. Now, if I wanted something for my body, Black owned. Y'all know who she be. Black owned. Okay? We get this? Now, if I want to wash my face, Black owned. Okay? If I wanted to smell good, Black owned. Let me open it so y'all see. Black owned. If I wanted my house to smell good, Black owned. And all of that right, Black owned. Black owned. If I wanted to wipe my butt, let me turn this around, baby. And I just got a package for 2 more. Black owned. If I wanted to wash my clothes, Black owned. Black owned. Vitamins, more vitamins. Black owned. Okay? Black owned. Now for my hormones and stuff. Black owned. But if I wanted to sage out my house, I can't find my other ones, but baby, Black owned. Black owned. Everything in my house is Black owned.
After that child situation, him getting off guilty, me seeing that woman walk out crying, If it ain't the time to go natural now. We shouldn't be in that beauty supply store. Go natural now. Wear the fro now. Take the wig off now. Man, stop going to them faux shops. For real. Fuck the bubble tea. Real shit. We can boycott all that other shit. Target, all that other shit. We gotta boycott the other junk. If we saw that black woman crying, we gonna stand up. What's up with it? What's up with it, bro? For real. Fuck a sushi spot. We shouldn't be eating no sushi. No nothing. No nothing. No Timu, no dupes, no none of that. For real, no none of that. If we can do that same thing to Target, we can do the same thing to them. For real. For real, it happen all the time. This keeps on happening. And we gotta do something. What else do they be doing? What else they on?
Asian American businesses have been operating in black communities for 60 years. I'll say it again. The Civil Rights Act passed in 1964, and the United States opened the door to Asian immigration in 1965 to put immigrants in the way of black people. And this idea that the tension between business owners and customers is one of mutual cultural misunderstanding that could be overcome if they just got to know each other better, the time for that has long passed. And as I've said before, the problem with framing the misunderstanding as mutual is where one demographic owns the businesses and the other demographic has to pay. There's no mutuality. There is a power imbalance. The only situation that I could see being beneficial at this point would require Asian Americans to be willing to leverage their ability to secure the business loans, to secure supplier accounts, and to attain business licenses, to open in black communities specifically to hire black people to work in the businesses and to provide the professional development opportunities so that black people can become the leadership in the businesses in their communities. But I don't have a lot of hope that Asian Americans are willing to do that because the Asian American business owners that we see currently are not even willing to treat their black customers as human. So I fully support black people boycotting these problematic businesses in their community. And I want to say that I think another thing that non-black people aren't aware of is that it is not as simple as boycotting the businesses and putting them out of business and then opening your own to compete. Because the system will find ways to still not give them the loans or rezone them so they can't open a business or not grant the business licenses. And suppliers are literally conspiring against black people who have managed to open a business in their own community to not supply to them because they don't want black people competing with the Asian American owned businesses in the community. So I wish that I had more to offer in the way of solutions, but I really don't. But please do not gaslight black people with respect to what the issue is.
I've been seeing a lot of black people on the internet saying, oh, we gotta boycott the Asians and the Chinese people. Like, bro, y'all sound stupid as hell, bro. Most of y'all, like, why you got beef with the Asians and Chinese people? By the end of the weekend, I promise more than half of you guys are gonna be going out to the Chinese buffets and ordering from China. So who are you kidding? Saying, oh, they hate us, they wanna get rid of it, blah, blah, blah. Have you ever thought about why they hate you? Why everybody hates y'all? Because y'all don't know how to behave. Damn.
See, it's not a secret to us that the Asians and the Latinos, they often form an alliance when it comes against black folks, especially black American descendants of slavery, like they did in California, where they said that we were going to have to convince them to give us reparations. And they said, no, we shouldn't get it. Knowing the history of black Americans in this country, they are going to stand 10 toes down, form a coalition against us. But yet here they are again. So the Latino, he agrees with the Asian guy who's basically mad at us because we're saying enough, no more. And another thing is this, homie, you can't tell us where to spend our money. We can spend our money where we want. See, the problem is this, not just the Asian community, but the Latino community, they're used to getting a lot of our money. And now that we talking about, nah, we don't want to do that. Oh, we the bad guy. That's why nobody want to do nothing with you. Well, cool. Stay away from us, right? Because I think we can all agree, right? That black folks don't be going around them trying to say what y'all doing, what's the latest dances and how y'all seasoning y'all food. No, we don't do all of that. Y'all do that to us. And even in the Latino community, they're mad because we're like, hey, you can't say the N-word to us or around us. Oh, what? We don't mean it like that. But as I always say, there's words we can't say about them, and they would be cool with that. But we supposed to take it? So we're at a new day and age where black folks are really starting to say no, for real, for real. Let's get back to where our ancestors were, right? And to me, I'm like, forget a boycott. Let's have a boycott, as Nuri Muhammad said, right? Let's have a boycott where we buy back into our own community, our own stores, and all the things that we need. And like the Asian dude say, well, you know, y'all women ain't getting on the knees and putting up a nasty attitudes. The last time I had my feet and hands done was by a black woman, so I don't know what he talking about. But see, that's them thinking we got a lock on everything and they got to come to us. Listen, I said I'd rather have bald-headed nails before I go to one of their shops, especially with that attitude.
Every group on this earth understands that you're in a team relationship. Racism is a team sport. It came into existence as a team. You play as a team or you lose by default. And only with black folk do people get upset when black folks start talking about coming together and uniting and working together and cooperating together, buying from each other and supporting each other. You know why? For a simple reason that everybody understands. When you come together and unify, that signifies strength. And right now, everybody right now is pimping and hustling black folk. They've been pimping and hustling black folk for 400 or 500 years. We spend approximately 97% to 98% of all our money outside of our own community, as an example. And we don't practice group economics, we don't practice group politics. All that makes, when we spend 98% of all our money outside of our community, what that does, it makes the other groups enriched. They now are living off of two incomes. They live off of 100% of their money and 98% of our money. And what are we left with is 2%. Where everybody else is living off of 198% of everything, we live off of 2%, which makes it impossible. And so you start talking about unifying black folk, that's a threat. They're saying, you're gonna cut off your money from us? You're gonna cut off, we're living off of two incomes. You're gonna reduce us down to one income? That's a threat to them. Also, it's a threat when you start talking about unifying blacks and looking out for your own people. That means political possibility of uniting as a political force in this country, which nobody wants to see. That's a threat, because all the rest of the people in society are living privileged lifestyles based on what they came in here and got as immigrants. Black folk never had those lifestyles. So yes, it's a threat to them.
Okay, there you have it. This video is definitely ran a lot longer than I was wanting it to, but I really wanted to put some educational information in it. I definitely suggest that you check out Dr. Claude Anderson, as well as Demetra K, and as well as Papa Duck. I got the links to all of their videos in the video description down below. You definitely should check them out. Get a little more educated about what exactly is going on. Please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video that I'm coming out with. And with that said, I am the man that they call T-Can, and you have been tuned in to Royal Black. So until next time.